Our visiting rodeo royalty, Miss Brittany Shropshire, representing the Stan Thompson Memorial Rodeo. Now, an event like this would not be possible without the contestants from the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association and the Professional Rodeos Cowboy Association. They are the cowboys who are here to test their roping and riding abilities in a contest. So let's bring in our tie-down roping representative today, Mr. Logan Bird, Canadian finalist, and a three-generation tie-down roper, Mr. Logan Bird. He is a hand, I'll tell you what. Representing our steer wrestlers, a man who's known well in these parts. He's picking up at the rodeo as well. Give it up for Mr. Wade McNulty. Walking in from the side gate is our Ladies Bell Racing representative, Tracy Morris. Our team ropers are Mr. Levi Hughes and Nick Teixeira. Representing our bareback riders, as he's behind the chutes, he's a busy, busy man. He's a 2004 world champion, Mr. Kelly Timberman. Our saddle bronc riding representative is a ranch cowboy. He's a rodeo cowboy. He's a CFR qualifier, Dustin Cipolla. Representing the future of rodeo in Canada, our boy steer rider, Mr. Dylan Connors. And representing our bull riders, Jackson Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, our cowboy contestants. I'd like to introduce the president of the Williams Lake Stampede Association, Mr. Tim Rolfe. Mr. Tim Rolfe, he's usually missing in action at this point. There he is at the timed event end. Thank you, Tim. And I'd like to welcome to the microphone the First Nations role model, Loretta Jeff.
How you guys doing tonight on the fine Sunday? I think it's 90th Stampede. I think you guys can get louder than that. All right, my name is Loretta Jeff. I am the First Nations role model. I am from Anaheim Reserve. I just wanted to say, I don't just represent my people. I represent the Caribou Chilcotin, the whole community. And I just wish you guys a good rodeo and have a safe home, and that's about it. Have a good 90th rodeo.
Loretta Jeff, our First Nations role model. Now, if you'll please rise and remove cover. And welcome to the microphone, Melissa Normandin, with the singing of first the American anthem, followed up by O Canada. You know what? She works in the office here at the Williams Lake Stampede. She's Melissa Normandin. Give her a big round of applause. What a great rendition of our anthems today. Thank you. Well, now we're going to ask our rodeo royalty, Cheyenne Schultz, the Williams Lake Stampede Queen, and her accompanying party, Brittany Shropshire, representing Stan Thompson Memorial Rodeo, as they take their exit ride, and we're going to get ready to rodeo here in Williams Lake on a Tough Enough to Wear Pink Sunday. That means that every ticket sold, $1 from that is going to go towards breast cancer research. Thank you, ladies, and we'll see you around the Stampede grounds later on. Ladies and gentlemen, they carry the sponsor flags from the City of Williams Lake, Ram Trucks, Grassland Equipment, New Holland, Coors Light, PMT, Chartered Accountants, Wrangler, the Williams Lake Tribune, and BMAC Installations. They are the Wild West Wranglers. The Molson Coors bareback riding, and this has been one of our greatest events at this year's Williams Lake Stampede. 85.5 Jake Volz at the top of the leaderboard. Dylan Bilton 84.5, Cole Goodine 84.5, a bunch of 83s in there for Kyle Bowers and Clayton Bigelow, Colin Adams. It's been fantastic. Margaret's Meats is the bucking chute that we're in. Our stock contractor, C Plus Rodeo from 150 Mile House, Mr. Roy and Earl Call, helping him out. Duffy Rodeo from Buck Lake, Alberta, Mr. John T. Duffy. Our pickup men, Wade McNulty, Earl Call. Our timers are Lonnie Rolfe and Patty Thomas. Our judges, Court Smith, Bernie Rivet, Jim Turner. As we have the three judges here, it is a Wrangler Tour Rodeo. Cole Jameson of Innisfail, Ginger. Here's the horse from C Pluses that's been selected to the Canadian Finals Rodeo in the past. This brown mare, they were 84.5. They're splitting second and third right now. Here we go. Cole Jameson, the cowboy from Innisfail, Alberta. Why don't you give him a little something right now? They can see it on the replay board. The higher the horse jumps in the air, the more extension in the kick. How about 82 points, 82 on a Sunday afternoon? Let's go to BC, born and raised cowboy. Do we have any rodeo fans here from British Columbia today? Well, this is the BC cowboy, Gavin DeRose, from the DeRose family. That's a name synonymous with rodeo in this part of the world. Sixth Sense. A blue roan gelding. This one's a little wild, kind of like the cowboy that's getting on him. Caribou Spur is the bucking chute. We'd like to thank CFJC Television, CKPG Television, Vista Radio Group, CKWL, Caribou Country. George Henderson's been on hand for all 5 performances. Good job, George. As well as Interactive Broadcasting. United Concrete and Gravel. Here goes Gavin. The BC cowboy with the DeRose last name, as he is looking for one of our 2 Ram pickup men. They're tough enough to wear pink on a Sunday afternoon. This is our 5th performance at the 90th. 90 years already. That's pretty impressive. Now the score coming up. How about 78 for Gavin DeRose today? 78. 78. You know, 90 years of the Williams Lake Stampede. But we have another anniversary we're going to celebrate in only 2 days' time. In 2 days, there's a young couple from this area that have been married 66 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry and Willie Christina celebrating 66 years of marriage on July 5th, and they've never had a fight. True story. Why? You know what the thing is? Willie's one of our hardest working people here at the Stampede. Terry's sitting way up there at the back of the grandstand, and Willie's down there looking after the Wild West Riders and looks after our grand entry. Just an absolute joy to be around Willie Christina. Justin Paul Miller, Weatherford, Oklahoma. Christian Mueller Electric is the buck and shoot. That's the name of the bucking horse. They were 82 on this big gray gelding in the Mueller Electric shoot. Toco Industries, Retirement Concepts, Williams Lake. Oh, look at this. The bareback riding again this year at the Williams Lake Stampede's been one of the marquee events. Why don't you put your hands together for Justin Paul Miller of Weatherford, Oklahoma. As a score coming in, we'd like to thank Retirement Concepts in Williams Lake and Palm Bay Coolers as well. How about 78 and a half for Justin Paul Miller. Next up's going to be Jacob Stemo from Calgary, Alberta. Now, I've watched this kid come up through the ranks as a boy steer rider. He was a bull rider for a short period of time. But I will never forget being at the Stony Plain Kinsman Rodeo. My father-in-law, John Duffy, had the stock, and I was announcing. This cowboy was entering the novice bareback riding when he's about 15 years old, and he has a gift for it. Jacob Stemo, graffiti from C Plus Rodeo. Come on, Jacob. Look at this. This young kid can spur. You know what? Don't worry about him. He's dirty tough. Folks, put your hands together for Jacob Stemo. He might need a little first aid. Man, his granddad was a great Canadian bull riding champion by the name of John Dodds. So he comes from rodeo stock, folks. Put your hands together for Jake Stemo. They're giving him the option of a re-ride. They are marking him, but they're giving him the option of a re-ride. I'd like to see this cowboy, if he could, get on another one, because I think he has the potential to win this rodeo. But the score coming in right now, 71 points with the option of a re-ride, 71. But you know what? He's holding that arm. I hope he's all right. He's an incredible talent. Speaking of talent, Connor Hamilton from Calgary, Alberta, kind of set the rodeo world on fire last year at the Calgary Stampede. He entered the novice bareback riding. He hadn't been on a whole lot of bareback horses. He's got Strawberry from C+, but when the dust all settled at the greatest outdoor show on earth, he was crowned the 2015 Calgary Stampede champion. He is an athlete, however. He played 2 seasons with the Calgary Mustangs in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. Come on, Connor! He could have been a hockey player. He chose to be a rodeo cowboy. How many people think he made the right decision by applause? Well, Connor Hamilton is heading down the rodeo road. Put your hands together for the Calgary Mustang. $72.5 points for Connor Hamilton today, 72.5. Kelly Timberman. Kelly Timberman is going to be our final bareback rider of this, the 90th annual Williams Lake Stampede. 40 years young, 7 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. He's 19th right now in the Canadian standings. He just won the Wainwright Stampede short go with an 87.5. He won Elizabeth, Colorado this year, Cortez, Colorado. He's got a Duffy bucking horse named Blue Jeans. This is the Blue Roan mare from the Doubletree firm. Now this horse, they've won this rodeo on this horse in the past. In fact, this cowboy's done it. This is a rematch from a couple years ago. The Blue Roan mare has been selected to go to the Canadian Finals Rodeo last year. And we're going to see how Kelly Timmerman can do. We got Jake Vold at the top of the leaderboard. He's been dominating this event since one of our opening performances with an 85.5. This will be the last man who will have a chance to unseat him in the Molson Coors Light bareback riding. Margaret's Meats is the buck and shoot. All right, Kelly, show him what you got. Kelly Timmerman, world champion. Folks, you know what? He's 40 years young. Why don't you put your hands together for him? He took a couple years off to spend time with his family, but now he's back on the rodeo trail. So we are going to get the score right now coming up. How about 84 and 1/2? 84 and a half. Well, our champion this year is going to be Jake Vold with an 85.5. Thanks to Coors Light and Molson for bringing us our bareback riding. As we head down to open up the gates and introduce our mountain racers. How many people in attendance have been to at least one performance of this year's William Blake Stampede? Let us know if you've been to at least one performance. Well, the mountain race is a big part of the Stampede, and we've got 4 mountain racers today. Wearing the black and the teal is Howard Lulua. Wearing the lime is Conway Lulua. The pink, because it's tough enough to wear pink, Steve Quilt. And the yellow is Chona Archaka. Now what they're going to do is they're going to head all the way over up the track, up the hill to Boitano Mall. And that's where the mountain race will start. If you've never seen it, you're in for a treat. Now before we move on to our next CPRA rodeo event, the Wild West Riders would like to pay special tribute to a man who, along with his wife, has attended their practices for years, giving them guidance and oh so constructive criticism. Now as the Wild West Riders come in, the man that they're paying tribute to has attended every Stampede since he was born, starting in 1924. He was one of the first rodeo clowns starting out in the Interior Rodeo Association, and he is a lifelong time volunteer of the Williams Lake Stampede. Please welcome Mr. Willie Crisina. And thank you to Terry, who is sitting in the top row of the grandstand watching over us. And thank you to the Williams Lake Stampede Association. There's Willie. Looking good. Willie the rodeo clown. Willie Crisina and his mule. Thank you to the Williams Lake Stampede Association for having us this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Crisina. Tie down roping brought to us by the Mount Poly Mining Corporation. There's your leaderboard, 8 and 3, Lee Rombo, Tyler Johnson, 8 and 7. 9 and 1, Curtis Cassidy. A whole slug of 9 and 2s, Mike Johnson, Virgil Poffenroth with Matt Shizawa. Wyatt Brandon, a 9 and 3. Murray Pohl, a 9 and 5. Our first tie-down roper to go today was the cover boy. He was the model on the poster for this year's Leduc Black Gold Rodeo. He had his picture on every post office wall in Alberta, representing the Leduc Black Gold Pro Rodeo. This is Les Faca from Cochrane, Alberta. Works in the oil and gas industry, so he's got a little time on his hands. Les Faca getting ready to go, our first tie-down roper today. We would like to thank Dale Reimer and the Mount Poly Mining Corporation staff for their continued support to this Williams Lake Stampede. We use chute number 9, Gustafson's Chrysler. Timed event chute as well. We'd like to thank Alltech, the crane truck. They hung the speakers, the sponsor flags, the Coors flags, which always seem to come undone by the fifth performance. Also, we'd like to thank Interior Roads for the water truck, Home Hardware, D&S Electric, Houston Agencies, Mainline Roofing Company, Best Western and Williams Lake, Real Canadian Wholesale Club, Pinnacle Renewable Energy Group, Tim Lloyd Construction, Caribou Steel and Machine, XL Power Services, West Fraser Timber, Gordo's Rental for the use of the ATV that's been shuttling campers from the campground to the grandstand. Here we go, Les Faca. Here's the catch. Flanks him down. Now when he ties them up, he's going to throw his hands up to signal he's done. And you can put your hands together for Les Vaca, broken barrier. 12-8, but a barrier penalty becomes a 22.8. 22.8. What the barrier does is it ensures that each and every calf, each and every steer has the same head start for all the contestants as they participate in the timed events. Now, if the calf doesn't stay tied for 6 seconds, after the cowboy rides up on him, so there's a slack in the rope, he will not get a time, but in this case, it was good for 6 seconds. Les Vaca. Clint RV, Blackfoot, Idaho. Clint RV from Blackfoot, Idaho. He's been smoking him in the Rockies and rocking him in the Smokies. He's 13th right now in the CPRA standings. He won the Drayton Valley Pro Rodeo this year at the time of 8-5. And 8-5 would get you a check. But you know what would be better? 8-2. That'd get you all the money. Clint RV, Blackfoot, Idaho. So qualifier for the Canadian Finals Rodeo in the past. As he backs the gray horse up in the box. Gustafson, chute number 9, the Prefert. Thank you very much to Mount Poly Mining Corporation. All right, Clint, let's make a run. Now, a long way down the pen, but if he handles the calf well, handles the string and the tie. Folks, tough day in the tie-down rope, and put your hands together for Clint RV. 10-9 will be his Wrangler running time, 10.9. The Wild West Riders will be selling 50-50 tickets in the grandstand. The Wild West Riders are selling 50-50 tickets. If you haven't bought any yet, yesterday's draw in the 50-50 was like $6,800. That's life-changing money. I don't care who you are. That's a good chunk of change. Now, the 50-50 has gone electronic this year. Tickets are available at 2 kiosks behind the grandstand, as well as mobile units throughout the grandstands. Updates, we post them on the scoreboard, and the winning ticket will be drawn during the bull riding of each performance. And once in a while, know your limit, play within it. That is our 50-50 motto. Josh Erickson, Bandera, Texas. Josh Erickson, Bandera, Texas. Tom Erickson, his dad, a great Canadian all-around champion. Come on, Josh. 6th in the Canadian standings. Winner at Lee Park with a 7-9. Be 7-9 here. He likes these calves. Holy! 9-6. 9-6 will be his Wrangler running time. 9-6 in the Mount Poly Mining Corporation. Logan Bird and Nanton. Josh's traveling partner is going to be next to go. If sometime during the rodeo you want to stretch your legs, you can visit Amanda and the Live Then Give booth in the Bronkbuster Trade Show to do what you've always meant to do but haven't actually done it yet. Save lives, your organ donation, and visit their location behind the grandstand. So there you go. Sign your organ donor card. Not a bad idea. Logan Bird, Nanton, Alberta. Here's a CFR qualifier. He's a 4-time Alberta High School Rodeo Association all-around champion. Just 22 years young, and he's 9th in the Canadian standings. Here we go. Logan Bird. There's the catch. Watch this young cowboy. He is a tall drink of water. String him, bring him, tie him up. Nice run, Logan. .8 will be his time. 8.8. Not too bad. 8 and 3 at the top of the leaderboard. That 8 and 8 should get a check. One more tie-down roper to go. Scott Meeks is a transplanted Texan. He's living in Airdrie, Alberta, is living the rodeo dream. Last year, he was the season leader for just about most of the season. That 8 and 8 puts Logan Bird in third place. Scott Meeks from Airdrie qualified for his first CFR last year, and in doing so was a season leader. The man is also a Western recording artist. I did not know that. A bit of a singer. Won Coleman with an 8 and 1, which is exactly what you need to be to take over first place here. 8 and 2, but just to give yourself a little extra elbow room. 8 and 1. That's what he won the Coleman Kananaskis Indoor Pro Rodeo. That was his time there. 8 and 3, Lee Rombo from Sexsmith in the lead here. There is no other rodeo in Canada in the CPRA that you can rope one calf or ride one bronc and win more money. A lot of them have short go-rounds. You got to go back. This is a one-time deal right here. Do your best. Leave it all out there. Scott Meeks, the cowboy from Airdrie, ties him up. 10.3 will be his Wrangler running time, 10 and 3. So the 8 and 8 for Logan Bird is going to be good enough to pick up third place this year at the Williams Lake Stampede. But our tie-down roping champion is going to be Lee Rombo. Lee Rombo with that 8.3 from an earlier performance. Thanks to the Mount Poly Mining Corporation for bringing us our tie-down roping. My left, my other, oh, there you are. Australia. What? Iguana? An Australian, that's awesome. We like that. We got Australians that participate in the rodeo. Today in the saddle bronc riding. Saddle bronc riding is brought to us by Grassland Lake City Central Equipment. Thank you to Tim Roberts for the supply of the New Holland tractors and arena grooming equipment. Our first cowgirl to go. You heard me right. It's Kayla Muscle from Chilliwack, British Columbia. How many rodeo fans know this cowgirl? Kayla Muscle from Chilliwack, BC in the Margaret's Meats Buck and Shoot. She's got Kissin' Kate from the C Plus Rodeo String, Roy and Earl Call. This is a brown mare that's been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Now this cowgirl, this is her first pro rodeo back since breaking her neck a couple years ago at the Barrier Rodeo. That was about 2 years ago. She has since won the BCRA Saddle Bronc Riding Champion. She's, in fact, the reigning Saddle Bronc Riding Champion in the BCRA. Her brother, CJ, used to ride broncs as well. She's from a rodeo family. Mom and Dad are here watching. Kayla Muscle, Chilliwack, BC. Margaret's Meats the Buck and Shoot. Come on, Kayla, make her ride. Folks, it's a sport dominated by men, but every now and then there's a lady in the house. Kayla Muscle, no score. Well, our next cowboy to go is going to be Dustin Sapola from Claresholm. Dustin Sapola, Claresholm, Alberta. Bender is a little happy from the C Plus Rodeo herd. They were 84.5 on this horse earlier on in the rodeo. We'd like to thank LA Fence and Gate Chicks Works Signs and Stitches, RL7 Mechanical Limited, Stampede Glass, Gibraltar Mines Limited, Tasico, as well as Tim Hortons, DQ Grill and Chill, and Orange Julius. But a big thank you to Tim Roberts from Grassland, Lake City Central Equipment. All the New Holland tractors you see, Lake City Central Equipment, Grasslands, that's who gives them to us. And they do a great job in keeping this arena in tip-top shape. Dustin Sapola, Claire's home, is going to be next to go. He's a CFR qualifier. He's a ranch cowboy. Bender, we seen this horse earlier. It's snappy. Dustin Sapola, nice ride, cowboy. His dad, Rolly Sapola, former steer wrestler in the CPRA, former one of our judges in the CPRA as well. The ranchers from down in that Claire's home Stavely area. How about 77.5 points? 77.5. 77.5. Leading this event with an 84.5 is Dustin Flundra. Dustin Flundra, an 84.5. I believe that was from our opening performance. Casey Bertram, Piapot, Saskatchewan. Piapot, Saskatchewan. When Casey Bertram leaves town, the population drops in half. That's how small Piapot is. Rip and Zip from Duffy Rodeo. The Appy Mare. We haven't seen this horse yet at the Williams Lake Stampede this year. But we've seen the horse at the Canadian Finals Rodeo last fall. Casey Bertram, Piapot, Saskatchewan, is in the top 15 in the Canadian standings. Mueller Electric is where the sparks are going to fly right now. Come on. Look at the Saskatchewan Cowboy. A little wild and western for Casey Bertram from Piapot, but you know what? Why don't you pick him up right now? He'd appreciate it. The Ram pickup men set him down, and you can pick him up. The score coming in. How about 77? 77 for Casey Bertram. Our last cowboy to go from Hudson's Hope, British Columbia, is going to be Ricky Warren on a horse called Broken Nose. Broken Nose, the bay mare. We've seen this horse earlier on in the weekend. Bucked off one of our cowboys. Bozeman, Montana. That's where this cowboy went to college. 20 years young. Now there's a bunch of young bronc riders coming up through the ranks. Right now, Leighton Green, Jake Watson, the Thurston boys. Ricky Warren's one of them. Lane Cust. There's a bunch of talented young bronc riders coming up the ranks right now in the CPRA. This is one of them. As he climbs over the back of the chute, Ricky Warren, Hudson's Hope. Broken Nose is the Duffy bucking horse in the Hub Barton Insurance bucking chute. All right. Ricky Warren. Trying to be better than 84.5. Let's see if he can do it. Come on, Ricky. You're not going to ride all of them. Put your hands together for Ricky Warren. If you want to watch it on the replay board, hold his feet good and then just kind of comes out over top of the swells. Thanks again to Grassland Lake City Central Equipment for bringing us to saddle bronc riding. Our champion this year is Dustin Flundra with an 84.5. Dustin Flundra, our saddle bronc riding champion. The mountain racers are getting into position, and as they move up the hill, we'd like to thank Return at Depot, Oliver and Company, for sponsoring the mountain race. We'd also like to thank Windsor Plywood, Palm Bay Coolers, Spectra Power Sports, the 6 ATVs the directors are using to get around the grounds, 153 Mile Fertilizer, Harrison Design, About Face Photography, Alltech, Boytown Mall, Boston Pizza, Broadway Rentals, Can West Propane, CIBC, and Central Caribou Disposal. Now this is a horse race, and they start out right across from the Boytown Mall. They come all the way down to a hairpin turn. They completely change directions. They come down a bit of a hill, then they're on a flat spot again. Then it's going to be the longest part of the descent before they get to the track. Now we had one rider 2 races ago come off the course, off his horse, but the rider and the horse are okay. Now the four teams, are you involved in this, Jason? Are you part of the mountain race? You're a mountain racer? What are you doing over there? They asked you for ID to get in the Letterbuck Saloon? Oh. You're old enough, you could probably get in there 3 or 4 times already. You know, I had to go over and check out the Letterbuck Saloon last night, and I can see what all the fuss is about. Here we go. The horse race is on. As they are going, it's Howard Lulua, Conway Lulua, Steve Quilt, Chonar Chakin. As they're coming to the first turn, Howard Lulua looks to be in the lead on the paint horse. Hey, they're all down and around the first corner. And the race is on for first place. And it looks like Conway Lulua trying to gain some ground on Howard. Might be able to do it when he goes downhill and gets some acceleration. Wow. And that's Steve Quilt, Chonar Chakin in 3rd and 4th as they're coming onto the track. This is the part where they can hear you right now. Let's see if he's got the speed he needs to take the lead. It's Howard Lulua, Conway Lulua, and a neck-and-neck battle as they come out of the 3rd turn into turn number 4. The paint horse seems to have what it needs to get here today. Howard Lulua, then Conway Lulua, and a dead heat for 3rd and 4th. Steve Quilt in the pink and Chonar Chakin in the yellow. Thank you to Williams Lake Return at Depot and Oliver and Company for sponsoring the mountain race. We're going to call in the big boys next. It's the Durfeld Log and Timber Steer Wrestling. This event is being led with Curtis Cassidy yesterday, a time of 3 and 8. Durfeld Log and Timber. Thanks to Rick Durfeld and family. They partnered with the Williams Lake Stampede. All the beautiful log structures you see here at the Stampede grounds. The maintenance office. The covered eating area in front of the concession, this beautiful announcer stand, or VIP stand, the back side of the grandstand. Those are all from Durfeld Log and Timber. Thank you, Rick and family, for making our Stampede grounds represent the Caribou very well with the log structures. They look awesome. Luke Simon in Naramata, British Columbia is going to be first to go. We'd like to thank Darrell's Contracting, Integra Tire Services, Renegade Irrigation, Rona Home Center, the Real Canadian Wholesale Club, Burgess Plumbing and Heating, Bob Patterson, and Johnston Meyer. Luke Simonin, Naramata, BC, is going to be our first cowboy to go. 3 and 8, the time we're trying to beat. Come on, Luke. He's a BC cowboy. He's not giving up on you. Do not give up on him. You know what, folks? It's a tough deal to get some of that beef down on the ground. Luke Simonin, a no time. Kyle Thompson of Lundebrook, is going to be next to go. Kyle Thompson is a saddle bronc rider and a steer wrestler. 3 times in Canada, he's won the ultimate honor of being the all-around champion of Canada. But I think one of the coolest things this cowboy's done in his rodeo career was in 2012 in the PRCA, he won the Linderman Award. The Bill Linderman Award. Bill Linderman was a Cowboys cowboy and one of the best there ever was, but was taken from us too soonly. But he was an all-around hand, and down in the PRCA, they call it the Linderman Award. It's one of the toughest awards to win, and he did it. Here we go. Kyle Thompson. Whoop! Well, you know what? The rancher is not going to get down on him today, folks. Put your hands together for Kyle Thompson. Matt Mailer is going to be next to go from Botha. Matt Mailer from Botha, Alberta is going to be our next cowboy to go in the steer wrestling. Jason, are you still in the beer gardens? I know he was here. He was just over there. I see even Ken Marcinakowski, our rodeo photographer, can't stay away from the Letterbuck Saloon. I probably shouldn't be telling stories out of school, but I went over to the Letterbuck Saloon last night, and when the night was done, they had no Coors Banquet left. They had some Coors Light and 1 can of Palm Bay. Boy, people were thirsty last night. Well, we all enjoyed responsibly. We used a ride home service. Matt Mailer. Matt Mailer. Botha, Alberta. Is the wind picking up? Durfeld Log and Timber. That's a good thing about these log and timber structures from Durfeld. The wind can pick up all at once. It's not going anywhere. Matt Mailer from Botha. Come on, Matt. Catches him quick. Goes to throw him down. Help him out, Williams Lake. Help him out. (9-0) plus 10 for a broken barrier. A barrier penalty is going to add 10 seconds to his time. Becomes a 19-0. Let's go to the living legend from Williams Lake from 150 Mile House. How many people here know this man, Wade McNulty? Oh, absolutely. Wade McNulty, longtime pickup man, rodeo competitor, former bull rider, steer wrestler. This guy can do it all. All right, Wade. $12,500 in added money in all our major rodeo events in the CPRA. Here we go, Wade. Let's win a truck payment right now. You got him. Attaboy. 5 and 4. 5.4 seconds for Wade McNulty. And Wade's mom's here today watching the rodeo as well. I had a chance to visit with her before the rodeo, her and Patty Gerhardy. Them two are probably staying out of trouble. Jesse Hagee. That 5 and 4, I'll tell you, the Bulldogging's tough. The Bulldogging's tough. 5 and 4 is not in the top 8. Jesse Hagee from Vulcan. Here's a big dude. Right here. Big, soft-spoken Jesse Hagee, Vulcan, Alberta, CFR qualifier. Trying to get back 23rd in the CPRA standings. I got to know this cowboy as we used to go up to the Harmon Valley Pro Rodeo. He'll help out where needed too. Come on, Mr. Hagee, the big man. Catch him, throw him down. You got him, man. Good run. Look at the size of this guy. 4.4 seconds is going to be his Wrangler running time, 4 and 4. If you see him in front of you in the lineup in the buffet, get out of his way. That's how he handles his beef. Good run, Jesse. 4 and 4. Now our last steer wrestler to go is going to be Bo Anderson. Hey, there's the 50-50 jackpot. 5,600 divided by 2, $2,800 right now. You're going to win $2,800 if you happen to purchase the winning ticket. I math is one of my better subjects. What can I say? I can put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Bo Anderson. Bo Anderson from Water Valley. Our final steer wrestler. Thanks again to Durfeld Log and Timber being our steer wrestling sponsor. 3 and 8, Curtis Cassidy at the top of the leaderboard. All right, Bo. Bo Anderson, Water Valley. Help this cowboy. Whoa. You know what? Some days the steers are going to win. Why don't you put your hands together for all of our steer wrestlers? Our fast time of the day, a 4 and 4 for Jess Hagee. But our fast time on the weekend was 6/10 quicker, a 3 and 8 for Curtis Cassidy. He is going to be our steer wrestling champion and take home just shy of $4,500 in this year's steer wrestling event. We're going to get the arena groomed, and then we have a very special treat for you, Mr. Alex Wells, world champion hoop dancer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Williams Lake Stampede Association strives to bring you the best in entertainment by Global FMX, Jason Charters, rodeo entertainer. And this feller here is awesome. He'll tell you a little about himself. He's performed at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, the Calgary Stampede. I've seen him perform a few times, and each and every time I just can't take my eyes off him. Please welcome to our arena, hoop dancer Alex Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alex Wells, three-time world champion hoop dancer. Now, an event like this would not be possible without the directors that organize it, the 400 plus volunteers that work tirelessly weeks leading up to the rodeo, the week of the rodeo. But the one thing we do need as well is our sponsors. And we like to show our appreciation for our sponsors by giving them a framed Williams Lake Stampede poster each and every year with the plaque on it, thanking them for their generous donation and contributing to the Western heritage sport the rodeo is and keeping it alive for 90 years here in Williams Lake. Some of our sponsors are on hand, and we'd ask them to step forward and accept their frame poster. Durfeld Log and Timber, Mr. Rick Durfeld. Rick Durfeld from Durfeld Log and Timber. I seen him here earlier. There he is. We'd also like to thank Mount Poly Mining Corporation, Grassland Lake City Central Equipment. We'd like to thank Molson and Coors of Canada. Molson and Coors of Canada, representing them, Sam Jameson. Sam Jameson from Molson and Coors of Canada. We've all enjoyed their product responsibly this weekend. PMT Chartered Accountants, Professional Accountants, Mr. Jay Cheek. Jay Cheek. Ram has been a part of rodeo across North America since the mid-'80s with the Ram Truck program. Ram Trucks is represented by Ron Beliveau. Mr. Ron Beliveau. Thank you, Ron, for coming out and enjoying the Williams Lake Stampede with us again. We'd also like to thank the Williams Lake Tribune, BMAC Installations, William Lake Log Haulers, CFJC Television, and on hand from CKPG Television, Juliet Nunez. Juliet Nunez. I watch CKPG back home. Like to know what's going on. We'd like to thank Gustafson's Chrysler, of course. They always sponsor Shoot Number 9. But from Interactive Broadcasting, Dave Seltenick. Dave Seltenick's on hand here today. From Interactive Broadcasting. We'd like to thank Interior Roads, Pepsi Cola, of course. Retirement Concepts of Williams Lake, Nancy Fenner. Nancy Fenner is on hand. From United Concrete and Gravel, Sue Zacharias. Sue Zacharias. Thank you, Sue. Vista Radio, CKWL Caribou Country, is represented today by Mr. Dave Taylor. Dave Taylor from the Vista Radio Group, CKWL Caribou Country. Of course, we'd like to thank Wrangler Jeans and Shirts for supporting this year's Williams Lake Stampede, but we'd also like to thank Toco Industries. Toco Industries, Randy Chadney. Randy Chadney from Toco Industries. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for all of our corporate sponsors and partners. Without them, this event would not be possible. Thank you very much for believing in your community, believing in the sport of rodeo. And as you do your business in the community for the next 365 days, let the businesses know that you appreciated what they do by helping put on this world-class event right here in your community. Now we're going to make Ron run to that Ram pickup. That's alliteration right there. Ron run to his Ram pickup. They are the sponsor of the ladies barrel racing. The current 50-50 jackpot is half of what you see on the board. $7,750 divided by 2, just shy of $3,900. $3,775. $3,725. Lonnie Rolf giving me a lesson in mathematics. Ram Trucks brings us the ladies' barrels. There's your leaderboard. 16-246 for the cowgirl from Hermiston, Oregon. Callahan Crosley. Callahan Crosley at the top of the leaderboard. Ram Truck ladies barrel racing. As we get set to go. All the barrels set on the exact same positions for all the barrel racers. They time them with electronic eye to 1/1000th of a second. So it's a horse race. And it's also one of the events where the crowd can influence the outcome, because the louder you cheer, the faster they tend to run. We're going to start with a BC cowgirl today by the name of Tracy Morris from Merritt, BC, the beautiful Nicola Valley. If you get a chance to come to the Merritt Pro Rodeo, it is the heart of ranching country, I'll tell you what. And it's a beautiful time of year to join us in Merritt. Make a weekend of it. Bring your golf clubs. A couple nice courses there you can play on. The rodeo's one of the best you're going to find. Here we go, Tracy Morris. Merritt, British Columbia, is going to be first to go. All right, let's see how the cowgirl from Merritt, BC does. Good turn on 1. Look across to barrel number 2. Turns there. Now you know what to do on barrel number 3, Williams Lake. Let her know you're loud and proud. 16-9-63. 16-9-6-3. Riley Shields of Cochrane is going to be next to go. Riley Shields, Cochrane, Alberta. Our next cowgirl, Riley Shields, Cochrane, Rams Trucks. If you want the most fuel-efficient pickup going down the road, you're going to want the Ram Eco Diesel. Ram Trucks are the official truck of the Williams Lake Stampede and a corporate sponsor to the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. Riley Shields from Cochrane. Look at that turn. This cowgirl is on fire. Come on, Riley. 16-508 will be her Wrangler running time. 16-508 as we move to Brady McNulty from 150 Mile House. You seen her husband participate earlier in the steer wrestling. Tasco Supplies, White Ranches, LA Fence and Gate, Shoppers Drug Mart, Surplus Herbies, the Coast Fraser Inn, Toco Industries, DQ Grill and Chill, and Orange Gelius. This is a seasoned ladies barrel racer from 150 Mile House. Brady McNulty. All right, Brady. Go to the first barrel. Well, little bit of trouble there, a broken pattern, no time for Brady McNulty today. Put your hands together for the local cowgirl. Let's go to Brooke Call on the Palomino. Grandma Carroll, a BCRA champion. Here we go. This is Brooke. Brooke Call from 150 Mile House. Roy Call's daughter. Come on, Brookster. Get around that second barrel. Look at this. Hey, the Palomino knows how to run. Williams Lake, give it up for Brooke Call. Good run, Brooke. 18-6-72. 18-6-72 is her Wrangler running time. Reese Rivet. Reese Rivet. This is Dallas Rivet's little girl. 12 years young. 12 years young is Reese Rivet from the Rivet family. Dallas, one of 4 boys. I got to meet Darcy last night. Bernie Rivet, Uncle Bernie, one of our judges here at the rodeo. Reese Rivet. Williams Lake, come on, cowgirl. Gets around the first barrel. She's a little girl on a big horse. Holy cow! Williams Lake, make some noise! That was awesome. 18.611. She goes to the top for the locals, 18.611. Cheyenne Church, all the way from Topan, New Zealand. Cheyenne Church, Topan, New Zealand. Taupo, New Zealand. We're going to get it right. Thank you, Charlie. Oh, come on, Cheyenne. A little bit of trouble at that first barrel. They always like to run up the fence. Look at this. Oh, just tips it over a little bit. But you know what? You don't see a lot of barrel racers come from across the pond. 19, 531 plus 5 is 24, 531. Lori Rankin of Williams Lake. Lori Rankin. Next to go. Lori Rankin getting across to the second barrel. All right. Turns on 1 and 2 are good. One more barrel to go. Come on, Lori. She's smiling, enjoying it. 19.150 will be her Wrangler running time. And then there was one. Charlotte Attrill. Charlotte Attrill from 150 Mile House, our final barrel racer of the weekend. Thanks to Ram Trucks. Charlotte Attrill. Look at that good turnaround, that first barrel. It's not the years, it's the mileage as she gets around the second barrel. Barrel number 3, let's hear it for all of our barrel racers here today. 18.293 will be her Wrangler running time, 18.293. So out of the 6 local cowgirls that went, that is going to be our fastest time, 18.293. Thanks to Ram Trucks for bringing us the ladies' barrels. Well, a new event at the Williams Lake Stampede. They started it in 2014. It's called the Wild Cowgirl Race, and today it's going to be the race for the buckle. They started out with 14 racers. They took over 4 days. They had 4 different heats, and over them 4 days, they took the top 2 teams from each day, or the top 2 racers from each day, and they get to race for the buckle today. They're in the backstretch getting ready. Lindy Friesian, Brittany Shropshire, Tammy Ward, Cheryl Stewart, Sandra Mulvihill, Jamie Fisher, Martina Durfeld, and Wendy Stad. Now this event sponsored by Monica's Farrier Services, Caribou Custom Monogram, Caribou Spur, and Caribou Saddlery. We would like to thank A&W Restaurant as well as Williams Lake Husky, BC Insulators, Cleanway Supplies, Allied Blower, our new media platform, Subway in Williams Lake, Santronic Business Systems, United Concrete and Gravel, Speedy Petey's, Poplar Meadows Angus, True Consulting, Caribou Auto and Spring, Inland, Pacific Coastal Airlines, and of course, Super 8. We're getting ready for the Wild Horse Race. Our Wild Horse Racing teams are as follows. Travis Flanagan team from Williams Lake, they're wearing the orange. Alan Puhalo's team of Quinnell in the brown, they're the Bandits today. Thomas Shanos, the Smithers in the yellow and black. Owen McInerney in the green, and Tyson Belanger in the pink. And the Belanger team's donating all their winnings to breast cancer research. Tough enough to wear pink, they're supporting that outfit. Travis Flanagan's team looks like they're getting him saddled, but Tyson Melanger's team again. Whoa! How about it? It's wild, it's Western, it's wild horse race. We still got one team out there. Owen McKinley wearing the green. These wild horse racers do not quit, folks. Put your hands together for them if you wouldn't mind, as we're going to call on the Ram pickup men to round them up and head them out. Looks like Tyson Belanger of Terrace, BC in the pink. Wins it again for another day in second place. Travis Flanagan, I believe, unofficially second place. So that's the wild horse race as we're going to gather the horses up. If you haven't bought your 50-50 tickets yet, please feel free to do so. And when you leave the rodeo today, if you want to take a little souvenir home from the Williams Lake Stampede, and these things are wonderful. I get one for my boy Eric every year. And it's one of the calendars, and it's got some great pictures and some history about the Williams Lake Stampede. Pick one of those up, and $1 from every calendar sold is going to go to the Tough Enough to Wear Pink campaign, which is absolutely awesome. $1 from every ticket sold today is going to be donated to mammography department at the Caribou Memorial Hospital. As we open up the track gates, it's time for the Cowgirl Cow Race, brought to us by Monica's Farrier Services, Caribou Custom Monogram, Caribou Spur, and Caribou Saddlery. So they're lined up. Lindy Friesen in the light blue, Brittany Shropshire in the orange, Tammy Ward in the yellow, Cheryl Stewart wearing the lime green, Sandra Mulvihill in the purple, Jamie Fisher in the red, Martina Durfeld in the royal blue, and Wendy Stad in the pink. You can see him there on the big screen. If you can't see over top of the VIP grandstand, you can see him on the big screen. They're getting lined up. It's a little like herding cats as the horse race is on right now. And we're looking out front, a field of 8 racers, and holy moly, she's got a huge lead out there. Lindy Friesen of Williams Lake has about a 4-length lead over her nearest competition as she's coming out of the 4th turn already. This with a race for second place. That's where it's at. But look at Lindy Friesen all the way. Second place, Sandra Mulvihill. Third place, Brittany Shropshire. Thanks again to Monica's Farrier Services, Caribou Custom Monogram, Caribou Spur, and Caribou Saddlery. Last call on the 50-50. Last call on the 50-50 if you haven't bought your tickets yet. Currently, you're going to win $4,065. How did you people like Alex Wells, 3-time world champion hoop dancer? That was pretty incredible. I mean, that takes a lot of talent, you know. And speaking of talent, what are you doing? Uh-huh. Wendy and Wanina? And you're here to show us some of your dance moves. Uh-oh. Nobody panic. Nobody lose your head. That didn't happen in dress rehearsal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry if we're scarring any young people. Just talk to us. We'll get you some money for counseling. Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Charters, our rodeo entertainer from Merritt, BC. He is one of a kind. We'd like to thank the Williams Lake Tribune for all that they do at the Williams Lake Stampede. The Tribune staff, Kathy McLean, for all their creative help and outstanding support and advertising for this year's Williams Lake Stampede. We couldn't do it without you. And they actually sponsor the Wild Cowgirl race. That's the Wild Cowgirl race that just took place. Boys steer riding, Dylan Connors from Bluffton, Alberta. Bluffton, Alberta. Home of Eddie Watrin. Margaret's Meats is the bucket chute. Eddie Watrin, 1930 Pacific saddle bronc riding champion. A little rodeo trivia for you. Eddie's no longer with us. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Last call for 50-50. Last call on the 50-50 draw. If you don't have your tickets yet, last chance to get them over $4,000 again. That's good. Dylan Connors from Bluffton. Been riding steers for a while. Dyes his hair pink in support of breast cancer research. All right, Dylan. Margaret's Meats is the chute that we're in. Let's look to our leaderboard. I'm just going to... Quentin Taylor, 75. Quentin Taylor, 75 at the top of the leaderboard as this cowboy is just about ready to go. All right. 75 points. Leading this event. Here we go. Come on, Dylan. Make a ride. Make a ride. We check with our judges, and they are saying a re-ride option for that cowboy. The cow stumbled down to her knees, so the cowboy is going to get his rope and get on another one. Dixon Tatry from Youngstown. Our bullfighters out there wearing the Rockstar Energy Drink jersey is Mr. Colton Walsh. Colton Walsh, our bullfighter, the tall, skinny kid. Houston Gleason from Sundre, Alberta is bullfighter number 2 out there. And for comic relief, it's Mr. Jason Charters. The one, the only. Dixon Tatry, Youngstown. Come on, Dixon. Make a ride. Hey, there's a second generation rodeo hand. His dad, Troy Tatry, one of the greats in the bareback riding business. Dixon won Innisfail 2 weeks ago with a 73. We're getting the scores coming up. How about 76 and 1/2? 76 and a half. That's a change to the leaderboard. 76 and a half. Cole Harris, Courtney, British Columbia. It's going to be next to go. The boys steer riding is brought to us by Williams Lake Log Haulers. Thank you to the Williams Lake Stampede for the Williams Lake Log Haulers. Here we go. Cole Harris, Courtney, BC. Big kid makes a good steer ride. We'd like to thank BC Livestock Association. We'd like to thank Quesnel Rodeo Association. Their rodeo taking place July 15th, 16th, and 17th. How about 69 and 1/2 points? 69 and 1/2 for Cole Harris. We're going to go to brother Justin Harris next. Spectra Power Sports. I'd like to thank them for the 6 ATVs that the directors are using all week long. Williams Lake and District Credit Union, Nuco Logging, and Papyrus Printing. Williams Lake Log Haulers, thanks to Bruce Combs for helping make the Williams Lake Stampede the success it is. Holy cow! We're checking with the judges. They have the official 8-second stopwatches. And they're saying thumbs down, no score. He bucked off, folks. Put your hands together for the Harris boys from Courtenay. Matt Howard from Munson, Alberta. Matt Howard from Munson. Munson, a small town, almost a ghost town by Drumheller. Mueller Electric. Matt Howard, Munson, Alberta. Matt Howard needs to be better than 76 and a half to take over the top spot in the leaderboard. Come on, Matt Howard. Pulls one hand out, makes a good ride. The cowboy from Munson. Now it's 76 and a half. Dixon Tatry at the top of the leaderboard. The score's coming in. How about 70 points for Matt Howard of Munson? 7-0. Roy Munson, a great bowler back in the day. Margaret's Meats is the chute that we're going to. Margaret's Meats, this is the re-ride option for Dylan Connors from Bluffton, Williams Lake Log Haulers. If you purchased, or you don't even have to buy them, they're just a souvenir program with a lot of great information in them. If you've got one, this is what they look like. You can pick them up just about anywhere. And the good thing is, on page 20 and 21, if you've got a black signature from Tim Rolfe, our Stampede president, you've won yourself a bag from Wrangler Jeans and Shirts. You've won yourself a nice bag from Wrangler Jeans and Shirts. But wait, there's more. If you go to pages 30 and 31, and you find a signature in blue from Darrell Williamson, signed it in blue, you've won a Montana Silversmith's belt buckle. Not too shabby. And don't forget to enter for the Brahma Boot survey. You can enter at the Brahma Boot draw barrel behind the grandstand. You can walk tall in a pair of Brahma boots. Here we go, Dylan Connors. Not a big steer rider, but he's got a lot of heart. Put your hands together for the cowboy from Bluffton. Watch out, Dylan. You're going right towards the outgate, cowboy. That's why they seem to be coming at you. The score coming up. How about 70 points for Dylan Connors? 7-0. So 76 and a half. Dixon Tatry is going to be our champion this year, 76 and a half. Thanks to Williams Lake Log Haulers for sponsoring the boys steer riding. 50-50 sellers, back to the office, please. 50-50 sellers, please report to the 50-50 office. BMAC Installations brings us our team roping event. And our leader at the top of the leaderboard with a 6 and 2 is Brett Buss and Clay White. We'd like to thank Andrew Nairn and BMAC Installations for their support of the Williams Lake Stampede. We'd also like to thank Gustafson's Chrysler, Gustafson chute number 9. That's where we're at. There's the leaderboard of 6 and 2 at the top is 6 and 4 for Dallin and Bueller in second, a 6 and 8 Fawcett and Fawcett. A 6 and 9 for Lucas and Warren. A 6 and 9 for Brower and Fisher. That's 5th place. We'd also like to thank Home Hardware, Windsor Plywood, Tim Hortons, Gibraltar Mines Limited, Tesico, Cal Tire, Town Taxi, Lake Town Furnishing, Montana Silversmiths, the OK Tire Store, CIBC, Tim Lloyd Construction, Pinnacle Renewable Energy Group, Jepson Petroleum Petro-Canada, Caribou Steel and Machine, XL Power Service, West Fraser Timber, B&J Trucking, as well as Interactive Broadcasting, Limestone Mountain Ranch, and Onetrix Solutions. Nick Teixeira and Levi Hughes. From Kamloops and Chilliwack. 6 and 2, a fast time, a narrow pen here in the team roping event. Goes for the head catch, just didn't quite have enough and no time. Folks, they're a team from British Columbia. We should pay them off. Thank them for coming out. The teams that are up today. And a long drive back. Corey Hines of Rocky Rapids. Chase Segbor of Wetaskiwin. Hines and Segbor. Our next team to go. Thanks again to BMAC Installations for being our team roping sponsor. Court Smith, Bernie Rivet, Jim Turner. Our judges, Court Smith doing the flagging. Corey Hines, Chase Segbor. Getting set to go. Want to make sure everything's just right before they open up the Gustafsons. Shoot number 9, preferred timed event shoot. A no time. Cody Potts and Trey Galley are going to be next to go. Cody Potts, Trey Galley. Cody Potts, Trey Galley. Our next team to go. Here they come. A head catch. Now we got to pick up the heels. Get them both. Atta boy. Six and 5, but a plus 10 for a broken barrier becomes a 16 and 5. 16 and 5. Dawson and Dylan Graham. This team's been coming on like gangbusters as of late. Dawson and Dylan Graham from Wainwright. Dawson and Dylan Graham. The head catch is there. Get the heels. Keep up the hot streak, boys. Looks good in the field. Looks good at the barrier. How about new leaders with a 5.7? 5 and 7. Wicked awesome. Chad Evanson, Pritchard, BC. Cassius Nardi from Cache Creek. Chad and Cash. Chad Evanson, Pritchard, Cassius Nardi, Cache Creek. Chad Evanson, Cassius Nardi. Chad Evanson, Cassius Nardi. Oh, on again, off again. You know what? Let's hear it for the BC Cowboys. Cache Creek, our neighbor, not too far away. No time. Jonah Antoine and Riley Isnardi from Cache Creek. Jonah Antoine and Riley Isnardi of Cache Creek. 2 more teams yet to go. We'd like to thank Harrison's Design, Schickworks Signs and Stitches. All the sponsor signs you see around the grounds here are from Schickworks Signs and Stitches. RL7 Mechanical, Mainline Roofing Company, supply the roofing and the gutters on the grounds. Retirement Concepts in Williams Lake, DNS Electric, Dr. Rudy Wassener. Central Caribou Disposal, Darrell's Contracting, Interior Roads Limited. CFJC Television, CKPG Television. Vista Radio, CKWL, Caribou Country, and the Esso Bulk Plant. Thank you very much. Quick head catch. Get a quick heel catch. Well, no time for Jonah and Riley. Riley Isnardi, Jonah Antoine from Cache Creek. Let's give our neighbors a little something if you wouldn't mind. Cache Creek, beautiful part of the world. Jackson Lewis of Vernon, BC, and Bailey Benjamin. Jackson Lewis of Vernon, Bailey Benjamin of Cardston. Our last team to go in the team roping, thanks to Gustafson's Chrysler, chute number 9. Jackson Lewis, Bailey Benjamin. If you bought 50-50 tickets, after this run, we are going to be giving you the winning 50-50 number. Jackson Lewis, Bailey Benjamin. They don't have the 50-50 number ready just yet, but we will be making that draw momentarily. Here we go. Jackson Lewis, Bailey Benjamin. Head catch is there. Heel catch. 5 in the field, a penalty of 5 seconds for missing one heel. Missing one heel. 7-0 plus 5 is going to become a 12-0. Folks, put your hands together for our champions at this year's Williams Lake Stampede with a 5-7, Dawson and Dylan Graham of Wainwright. Good run, guys. 5-7. Half a second quicker than Brett Buss and Clay White at 6-2. Thank you again to BMAC Installations. Well, as we get ready for the bull riding event, we do have to set some panels up to cut the arena down. We have some buckle presentations that we would like to make. This morning they finished the Ranch Challenge events, and the winner of the cattle sorting was the Chilco Ranch. The winner of the ranch branding was 140 Mile Ranch. The Saddle Up Relay Race was won by 141 Mile Ranch. Team Penning was won by Lazy TJ Ranch. The winning team in the Cowhand Trailer Race was 141 Mile Ranch. The winner of the trailer loading was Chimney Creek Hereford Ranch. The overall ranch champion is 141 Mile with 420 points. The runner-up was the Lazy TJ Ranch with 340 points. In the Ranch Bronc Ride event, Joe Robertson placed first, and tied in second place were Brad Reimer and K.O. Taves. The mountain race is sponsored by Return It and Oliver and Company, and this year it was won by Howard Ludowa with 160 points. Do you have a buckle for Howard? I'm not sure where is Howard Lulawa around to accept the buckle. The runner-up was Conway Lulawa with 121 points. I believe Willie Christina is going to present the buckle and the poster for the champions in the mountain race event. Well, let's move forward. Let's do the wild horse racing champions. Our wild horse racing buckles are presented by Tim Rolfe, Stampede president, and our championship team this year, wearing the pink, they're donating all their winnings to breast cancer research. It's Tyson Belanger. How about it? Good work, guys. I think they won 3 out of 5 days. And they're got all their fingers yet and no bandages. And all the money they won being donated to breast cancer research. Put your hands together for them. Great job. So that's the wild horse race. The cowgirl race. The cowgirl race, we're going to do that presentation. We're going to call on Monica Sellers. While they're getting ready to do that, here's your winning 50-50 number. E420073. And you are getting just over $5,000. You've got 10 minutes to claim your prize. E420073. Congratulations. The ladies are down in front of the grandstand. Just notify one of them if you have it, and they'll take you to claim your prize. Lindsay Friesen winning the cowgirl race, the buckle. The event sponsored by the Williams Lake Tribune. Congratulations. Thanks to Monica Sellers for presenting that buckle. Now, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Sherry Bullock as she has a presentation to make on behalf of the Williams Lake Stampede. You got some good news for us, Sherry? Thank you, Sherry, and thanks to each and every one of you who purchased a ticket today. And like they say, $1 from each of the tickets going to the breast cancer research and purchasing that or creating a mammography department at the Caribou Memorial Hospital. There's your mountain race champion, Mr. Lulawa. Howard Lulawa with 160 points. Congratulations. As he wins the buckle, he wins the framed poster. As we get set for our final CPRA event, it is time for the bull riding. It is time for the bull riding, brought to us by PMT Chartered Accountants. We got 2 leaders in the bull riding event right now. We got 87 points. Lonnie West, Jordan Hansen. Going first today is going to be Casey Berg of Wainwright, Alberta. High Roller. It's an old gray white-faced bull. This bull's 11 years old. If anyone tells you that our livestock producers in rodeo don't look after their animals, if anyone's trying to feed you that line, this is living proof that they do. These animals are fed, watered, and cared for long before the people that own them and their families are looked after. I'll guarantee it. Roy Call on the back of the buck and shoots gives the Animal Athlete Tour an absolutely superb job. He actually won an award for that at the West of the Rockies Finals. I remember that Dodge presented him with a very special award for that. Casey Berg's got a great old buck and bull here called High Roller. Margaret's Mates is the shoot. Our bullfighters out there, Colton Walsh, Houston Gleason, and Earl Call. This bull's been to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. Here we go. Folks, put your hands together for Casey Berg of Wainwright. Good try, Casey. Not 8 seconds. Jackson Scott, Kamloops, BC, is going to be next to go. Little Nicky. Little, you are no Alex Wells, I'll tell you that. Caribou Spurs, Jackson Scott of Kamloops, Little Nicky from C Plus Rodeo. Little gray white face bull. Caribou Spurs, the bucking shoot. All right. Little Nicky. Let's see how this is going to work out for him. Pair of 87s at the top of the leaderboard. The bull ride event brought to us by PMT Chartered Accountants. Folks, put your hands together for our bullfighters and the teamwork there. What they do is take the bull away from the cowboy when the cowboy finally gets off of him. They're in there to get him out of a wreck, folks. He's walking away from it. Put your hands together for Jackson Scott. Little Nicky was a little tricky. Mueller Electric is the bucking shoot. Bryce West of Cadogan, Alberta. His brother Lonnie West is at the top. There's the replay. And you see how our bullfighters are getting in there, trying to get that bull straightened out, trying to get the tail to rope off. Bryce West of Cadogan has a bull called FBB. FBB. The naming rights to this bull were purchased at the Stampede auction a couple years ago by Kane Fraser. This is a brindle horn bull that can carry you to the pay window. In fact, this is the bull that brother Lonnie rode 2 days ago. So there's a little bit of a storyline for you. Bryce West getting on the same bull that his brother got on about 48 hours ago. Let's see if we can get the same results. These West boys, I've watched them grow up. I've got to know their dad. They're a little different. I wouldn't say they're bushed, because they're from the prairie. But I will tell you this, when they come to town, they like to have fun. In fact, one of them was up singing on the stage with the band just a day or two ago. It was on YouTube. Not a bad musician and singer, these Wests. All right, here we go, Bryce West, Cadogan. One High River with an 84. All right, Bryce. Let's be 1 point better than your brother. The pride of Cadogan, Alberta, PMT Chartered Accountants, is our sponsor of the bull ride event as we're getting a little bit of liquid sunshine. All right, Bryce, make a ride. Well, that bull was not going to be ridden twice at the same rodeo. No score. Phenomenal bucking bull from C Plus FBB. That is going to conclude our rodeo. We've got co-champions this year in the bull riding, Lonnie West and Jordan Hansen. That's it, no more. On behalf, do we have a 50-50 winner? We do have, someone has claimed the 50-50 draw. On behalf of the Williams Lake Stampede Association, my good friend Jason Charters, I'm Tyson Peach. Thank you for coming out to the 90th anniversary of the Williams Lake Stampede. And don't forget to mark it on your calendars. The good Lord willing, we'll see you next year. God bless.